Hi everyone, and welcome to my new series, Holly in the Hebrides. I'm Holly, a freelance illustrator living full-time van life with my husband and our 2 dogs. After 2 years of this lifestyle, you could say we have a bit of a routine going. In the winter, we travel to escape the harsh weather before returning in the spring to settle somewhere for a while. Last year, we were working on the Isle of Mull, and this summer, it's the Isle of Mull, a beautiful Scottish island in the Inner Hebrides. Follow along as we discover what life is like here. It's Monday today, and sorry to start. I feel like I can't really talk today without feeling like I'm gonna cry. So I'm probably not gonna vlog very much today. I'll definitely pick myself up for the rest of the vlog, make this a video like the other 2 have been, celebrating the beauty of the Scottish Hebrides and like a simple life and my lovely simple life. But today I'm just really not able to portray that life. Yesterday was Sunday, I got off the phone with my sister and my brother-in-law, and I went and looked at the news and looked at my phone. Israel had bombed a safe area that they had designated. Lots of displaced Palestinians were there. They've been told to go there. They're living in tents now because they've been forced to live that way because their homes have been destroyed. And this has been 8 months of this. The images that were coming out of Rafah were just so horrific. People were burned alive. I think over 40 people have died. Children were blown to pieces and decapitated. And I can't stop crying this morning. It's been 8 months of seeing the worst things you can ever imagine happening to other human beings happen. So many images that have come out of Gaza that I will never forget for the rest of my life. Human beings take their last breaths. I've never seen that before. I saw a child take his last breath on a hospital bed, surrounded by dead children. What is going on? Okay, so I'm not going to film for the rest of the day, I don't think. I'm just going to get some work done. I'm being extra reclusive in the van. What I wanted to say is, if you are also finding it a complete headfuck, please share your emotions, because I think they do have power, and it kind of stops the normalization of this genocide. If you are comfortable, if you have extra money that you spend on recreational things, going out at the weekends, etc., then please consider donating that instead to helping Palestinian families. Whenever the border opens, they need a lot of money to leave and find safety. In the meantime, food is incredibly expensive, so there's so many fundraisers out there. I'm going to leave some in the description of this video. They're from people I trust who are fundraising for families, so please have a look at them, and please donate money. If you have any extra, you're literally keeping them alive with that money, and I can't think of a better use for that money. And also obviously do all the political things you can. Look at how your government is complicit in all of this. Start learning about colonialism, the history in the region. Yeah, just arm yourself with knowledge, and also take direct action if you can. Yeah, I've watched in real time politicians from both parties normalise this suffering and downplay it and delay any chance of a ceasefire, and demonise people who are trying to stop the genocide. Know that you have power and agency, especially if you are in one of the countries that's most complicit. The weapons made in your country, are they going there? Can you stop that from happening? How can you put your body in front of killing machines? How can you learn about the connection? Because a lot of this is connected. Your climate crisis and capitalism and colonialism, Islamophobia, it's all connected, and it's all really important to learn about. I'm glad I was able to speak to you today about that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday. First day of our weekend. We've driven down to the Ross of Mull, which is a part of Mull. We're at a campsite which is right on Uskin Beach. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did.
Uskin. We've had a bit of a washout of a day, so it's already 6 p.m. now. But yeah, it's just been raining all day. Last night we spent the night at Loch Buoy again, and it was a lovely sunny evening, but I didn't pick up my camera. We woke up in the morning to a lot of rain that has just stayed all day, but I think we've made the best of it. We were in a town called Benesson on our way to get to this campsite. They have a charity shop there, and they have a 24-hour secondhand bookshop, and you just pay in an honesty box. And I got a couple of books. John Steinbeck of Mice and Men, classic, slim little novel that I think I'm going to read in one sitting tonight. Craig and I are both feeling just like doing that thing where we pretend our vans are bothy and just getting all cozy and reading a book and having some nice drinks and some nice food. And I also bought Doris Lessing's The Golden Notebook. I've read one of her other books, and I want to read a lot of her books because they sound really appealing to me. And this is her like most famous one, but it's the opposite of Mice and Men because it's freaking chunky and the text is tiny. I've tried reading this novel before and put it down. I think I do get really intimidated by big books, but I heard a booktuber talk about it recently and it made me think actually I do want to keep reading it. It's got like quite interesting themes like women and politics and communism in the UK, and I'm interested, feminism. But now we are going to have a little glass of beer, Tennent's, and oh no, it's not Tennent's, is it? Spanish beer. And with our beer we're going to have some cake that we got from the old post office at Loch Buoy. They have the most amazing cake. Get it out, Craig. Oh my gosh.
It's so squishy.
This is a vegan chocolate and orange cake, and it is so good. It's quite like Bruce Bog Trottery type thing. It's like really chocolatey, really rich. We've woken up at the beach and we're just enjoying the relaxing sights and sounds. Just had breakfast, had a cup of tea, got the van ready, got ourselves ready. Just been looking at the wildlife, the birds and the rabbits. Craig's actually gone for a nap. He's just gone up there, so I don't think he's actually asleep yet. The dogs are also napping. So I think I'm gonna write in my journal. We're just having a really chill day today, I think. We're not really getting up to too much, just enjoying being here because it's quite a way to get here, so I don't know when we'll next be back. Wow, a swallow nearly came into the van.
Look, 30 minutes of snoozing, and we decided that the next thing we should do is drive off from here. We think there could be a little coffee shop there attached to the weavers. There's some artisan weavers there that take wool from their flock of Hebrides sheep and make their own shawls and hats and stuff. So we're going to swing by there and then maybe do the 14-hour drive home all the way back to Tob. I got back to the house. My landlord cut the vines down. I hold my keys too tightly in my pocket. I walk into the room. You're sleeping and it's quiet. I want to know what force holds this together. I want
surrounded by the ordinary sorrow of just being here. Sleeping in the hospital and walking in the courtyard. I cut a beach and place the pieces on the counter.
That was a very hairy drive we just did, over an hour, mostly single track roads. There's a film crew on Mull and they're making like a Netflix film. There's lots of like lorries travelling around carrying equipment and sets and kind of like extra chaos on the island. I think that was a pretty hard drive for you, wasn't it? So we're thinking we probably won't travel that far across the island for a while. But anyway, now it's the early evening, we're having a cup of coffee. We've arrived at somewhere we thought we could stay for the night, but we've just seen a little no overnight parking sign. So we are going to move on from here, but we're probably not that far, just like 5 or so minutes down the road.
True.
There's a few other little spots. But I think we're going to go for a walk to let off some steam, relax a little bit. It is laundry day today and I've got about 2 minutes left on my machine, so I'm going to go over there and collect it. I'm going to go to Antabar Art Centre this afternoon. I'm going to take Quentin with me. He doesn't know yet, he's sleeping up on the bed. I don't usually let him up there, but I've had the door open a bit, so he can charge out sometimes when he sees dogs and things, so it's nice to just have the door open without having to worry about him running out of the van. Yeah, I'm going to go to Antabar and get loads of work done. I've got lots of editing to do. I've got a Patreon newsletter to write. Now Craig's back at work for 5 days and I'm going to be working a lot too. I've just got approval on my BBC Wildlife sketch, so I'm going to start painting that in the next few days. And there is my alarm, so I'm going to go off and collect my laundry. Laundry has been collected and some stuff I can't put in the tumble dryer, and also some stuff hasn't dried properly, so I've just had to like hang it around the van. Sorry Miji, I'm gonna take you out for a walk in a sec. But yeah, just hanging socks and pants and the front is even more chaotic. There's just a lot of things that need to dry. This is when you really need a house. Bon appetit! Teat.
See what we've got.
What we got, Craig?
There's a burger with gherkins and cheese and lettuce and some fried onions and mayo and ketchup and...
I have just made myself a cup of chocolate tea. This is cacao and caramel and also coconut tea that I got in Italy. Chocolate tea, like the smell is better than the taste, I will say that. Like you open a packet and it smells like chocolate, caramel and coconut. It's so nice. But actually in a tea it's quite nice as well. It's very smooth. It's very nice to have after a meal, and I let it steep for quite a long time and then put milk in it, oat milk, and that's how I like it. I don't put any sugar in it or anything. It's quite subtle but really lovely, and I've got another pack of these because I knew I'd love them so much. I just remembered I've also got this one, banana and cacao, a banana tea. Can you believe it? So maybe I'll have one of these next and let you know what I think of these. We have arrived at our park up for the evening. Craig's just gone for an evening stroll. I didn't fancy joining him, so I'm just gonna drink my tea in the van and put away some laundry, and I'm feeling really tired. I think we're both feeling quite tired. So an early night for us. I keep meaning to read, but actually what I need to be doing is editing. So I need to get back on the reading. Like, I usually read about 4 or 5 books, sometimes 6 a month. And I've only read 1 in May. It's nearly the end of May, so I'm not gonna read another one before the end. But yeah, in June I hope to have a better reading month. I've got a lot of books to get through. Midge is dreaming. Be lifted up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I think I left you on Thursday evening, and a few days have passed since then. Friday was very similar to Thursday, and that's why I didn't pick up the camera. I went back to Antabar Art Centre and I was working there again. Oh, I don't know if you can see my illustration here. I'm going to be working on a painting today, that's why my easel was here, and I've just made myself a coffee as well. Yeah, so I didn't really see the point in filming the same day again on Friday. I can't remember what we did Friday evening. I think we went and had a lovely woodland walk. We've been doing that a lot this week, like walking for hours after work, because Craig finishes at 5 and then the van's right here outside his work. Like, we feel like we have quite a lot of evening time, which is such a luxury. There's like no commuting time really, which is amazing. So yeah, we've had some really nice evening walks this week. I feel like I've done a good amount of exercise, and it's a really refreshing way to finish your day, kind of like walk the day off, discuss the day together, and it's just a real nice sensory experience to be walking around Mull. The sound of the birds, there's so many birds here because there's so much tree cover, and yeah, the smell of all the flowers, the roses and the wild garlic, just very intoxicating, I would say. I heard people say that before about Mull, that it can be a bit overwhelming. I think it's just like the sensory experience of being in such like a wild and quite dramatic place. Anyway, so that was Friday. Saturday, which was yesterday, let's just say Saturday I tried. I know I had a to-do list and I know I worked through it, so just did stuff yesterday. In the evening we walked to the lighthouse, which has got to be one of our favourite walks we can do from Tobermory. Also spontaneously went to an art exhibition opening. On the way back from the walk we bumped into one of Craig's colleagues, and he was going up to the hotel at Tobermory. I think it's called like the Western Isles or something like that. Such a beautiful hotel. I wish I had taken my camera. This really grand old building. There's loads of original features. It's not too fancy. It's a little bit dated, which is actually something I really love about hotels, when they're dated. And they haven't like ripped out things and tried to make things cool or anything. Like, it's just a perfect mix of different art styles on the walls, and yeah, like kind of a bit dated reception desk and things like that, and like the carpet might be a bit dated, but I just really find that like so comforting and nice. And the views from that hotel were freaking stunning, so I will go back at some point. I think you can just go there for drinks. They have a drinks terrace. We will definitely go back and I'll take the camera. It was insane in that place. And yeah, there was a local art exhibition on, I think it happens every couple of months, so I might apply for the next one. They were encouraging me to apply. They have like a very loose theme. So yeah, that would be really fun to show my work locally. Then after that, I think I was just doing some stuff in the van. I tidied up the van, did some editing, and Craig went out to the pub. He wanted to watch some football. He met up with lots of people he's been seeing around Tobermory. Saturday night in Tobermory can be quite like a local vibe, especially after dinner time, when like the tourists have gone home. Like local people come out after work, and he said there was a lot of people in there that he knew and that he spoke to about how Mull works and how people like collaborate and make island life work amongst themselves. And yeah, today is Sunday. I'm going to be working on my BBC Wildlife painting today, and I'm going to be filming it for Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, I've also made a decision about my content. So I think what I'm realising is that filming Holly and the Hebrides episodes takes so much time and effort, and I'm just wondering how feasible it is to carry this on throughout the whole season. So I think what I'm going to try and do is do 3 Holly and the Hebrides episodes for YouTube, and then the last one of the month will go up on Patreon. Actually, I'm not sure if it's the last one of the month. It'll be like the 4th one I make is going up on Patreon, because I do need to make Patreon content as well, and I'm kind of struggling with getting that done as well as YouTube. Maybe that the 4th one will be a bit more rough around the edges, a bit less edited. I think I'm struggling with how much footage there is, and how I'm being a bit of a perfectionist and wanting to tell a story and get the best shots and make it look good. So maybe every 4th episode of Holly and the Hebrides will be a bit more rustic, shall we say. By the way, I've had a shower and I've washed my hair, and I just scraped it back, so it always looks like so dark when I've washed it, and it's still a bit damp, and I haven't got any of the ends of my hair showing, which is where the blonde is. If you were wondering, plans for next week, I feel like I've settled into Mull quite well now. We've got our routine going, and I've settled into my routine when it comes to making Holly and the Hebrides videos. I've also got my Etsy shop open and running very smoothly. So now the next thing I'm going to be moving into is I want to make some new work. I've got a new sketchbook that I would like to crack open, think about actually doing some drawing outside rather than just stuck in my van all the time. Also, I would like to make some originals. I've got so many watercolour postcards. I've got like a big chunky box of them. They're just plain and that you're supposed to paint on them. So yeah, I want to make some originals to sell in my shop that way, and maybe one of the originals could go into the next art exhibition that's going to be at the hotel if they accept it. Also, before I go, please check the description for fundraisers. I've linked them below. One of my online friends is hosting and needs donations for especially, which will be the top one. But yeah, if you have cash, please distribute it throughout those fundraisers. There's so many of them, and they're really so important. Sorry if you can hear Quentin snoring. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.